Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and today I'd just like to talk about how foolish the whole entire world is for all of the hatred they're heaping upon J.K. Rowling right now. And the fact that it's not just one side, but both sides. But you have both very liberal people who are very invested in diversity politics and people who don't care about diversity politics in their books, movies, etc., i.e. conservative assholes. Only conservative assholes are against virtue signaling in movies, obviously. Those are the only types of people who would possibly oppose the addition of as many diverse people as possible into source material. So, the only two types of people there are in the world, obviously, are people obsessed with diversity politics and conservative assholes. So both of those people are mad at J.K. Rowling, who is some sort of weird, transcendent being who is neither obsessed with identity politics nor a conservative asshole. Incredible. How does she do this? Now, why do I say that J.K. Rowling is my hero? I'm saying this today, not just because she's pissed all these people off. One thing, pissing these people off just demonstrates how much more wise and noble she is, and how foolish the masses are, how completely idiotic all of the rest of humanity is. Because J.K. Rowling has single-handedly done not one, but two of the most virtuous things that a creator, that an artist could possibly do. And they are, number one, insert as much identity and diversity into your source material as possible without actually inserting it into the source material, but telling everyone later that that's what you did to make yourself look more noble, to make sure that nobody suspects you of being actually homophobic or racist or any of those things, to make sure that after the fact, when you go, whoops, this just never occurred to me in writing because it's not a part of good writing, but I should make sure that everybody knows that it's totally in here and totally has been from the beginning. That is noble. That is virtuous. Because it does not taint the source material with ridiculously added elements to people's identity that don't make sense and were never part of the story in the first place. So that's good. It also makes sure that we all know that she's not homophobic or racist, which is good. This is a double good act. Guys, good morning. Did you all just think that a double positive makes a negative? That's not how life works. She did one act that within this singular act, both of those things are very good, and yet you're all mad about it. You're all mad about it. Is it simply because the one thing she did pleased the one of you and now you have to be outraged? The other side was happy about something and just spiral yourselves into a pit of outrage when the reality is you both should have been happy? You both should be thrilled. You should all be ecstatic. You conservative assholes should be thrilled that this never made its way into the source material because you're all racist and homophobic and are therefore thrilled that there were no explicit main black characters and an explicit gay relationship in your book because those are the only things you care about. Is making sure that there are no gay people in the media ever, or black people. Well, black people are allowed to be minor characters, but not main characters. No, that would be too upsetting for all conservative assholes who are 100% white, heterosexual men. So that was a nice thing she did for you there. And then the rest of you, everybody else, who are also white, heterosexual men obsessed with identity politics, you should be thrilled because your self-hatred was not reflected after the fact, that she called you on your self-hatred and your self-loathing of yourselves and your desire to have other types of people included so that you hate yourselves a little bit less. She did this for you because after Harry Potter, you must have been so filled with self-loathing, being like, oh my god, the hero of the story is a white man. How do I deal with this guilt? So she helped you assuage that self-loathing after the fact by being like, look, I wrote a good story and now here are these things to make you feel better about the fact that you're white and male and like to have sex with the opposite gender. Wow. What an amazingly kind thing she did for you all there. And you're just not appreciating that. Not appreciating that at all. None of all of society, which is 100% heterosexual white men. That is 100% of society. And none of you were happy. Jeez, I don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But this is not it, right? I said two things. I'm not just talking about the two-in-one thing. There was another amazing and wonderful thing she did for us as a society of fans, which is she just plucked away that fan theory fun, all of that stuff that drives us crazy, talking ourselves in circles. Is this true about this person? Is that true about that person? All the little fan theories and what might have been, and our ability to insert our own stories and our own narratives into these characters' lives. She just took that away. Isn't that so much simpler? Isn't this so much? Now we don't have to fight about whether Dumbledore was actually gay or whether he was not. We don't have to fight about whether Hermione having crazy frizzy hair was just a metaphor for a black woman's hair because she was secretly a black woman all the time. Like, we don't have to argue and debate these topics anymore. Hooray for us. We just have it told to us. We don't have to use our imaginations. We don't have to do that work of confronting our own self stories and see the way that we see them reflected in the characters that have open-ended elements written about them. No, we don't have to discuss this anymore or have that validation. We just have it told to us exactly what it is. All of that confusion, all of that ifs and ands and buts and maybes and hopes and nots hopes and whatevers and stuffs, that's all gone. Thank you, J.K. Rowling. Just making life a simpler place. Because art is not about allegory anymore. It's not about metaphor. It's not about subtly buried messages. No. Art is about telling things exactly as they are. Representing things exactly as they look in the real world with absolutely no change or nuance or commentary added on it. And J.K. Rowling probably looked back at her books and was like, God damn, there are way too many little messages about teenagehood and growing up and friendship in here that are just not spelled out explicitly enough. And I can't go back and rewrite all of those stories that people have for the most part figured out at this point, but what I can do, I can go back and rewrite Dumbledore's sexuality so that next time you read the book, that is no longer a thing you wonder about. That's just a thing you know. Because wondering is not a helpful part of art. Wondering means not knowing. And the most valuable thing in the world is to know everything all of the time and not be curious about the things you might not know. So thank you, J.K. Rowling, for removing that curiosity from your creative process. We really appreciate that. Thank you, J.K. So, as the logical conclusion is anybody who's upset at J.K. Rowling for all the stuff she's been saying is obviously just a less advanced being. So, end of story, done. If you agree with me, you should all voice your agreement below. Otherwise, I'll know you're a lesser being, in which case, don't bother. If I read your comment and your comment's like, you're wrong, obviously a lesser being. So that's done right there, because this is the epitome of creative thought, is never letting in dissenting opinions. And actually, more importantly, before you even allow dissenting opinions to form, to have your surefire logical way of dismissing all of the dissent before it even happens. So if you enjoyed this video, I would like you to oppress or suppress the like button. We're equal opportunity here. I don't judge. Do you like to oppress things? Do you prefer to suppress them? That's okay. Either way, do that thing to that like button against its will, and then comment on this video and share it and do all of those things, because they help my channel grow. And because I make my channel and I know that everything I say is right, I know that there is no more virtuous thing, aside from perhaps being J.K. Rowling, than to propagate my channel and have it reach everybody in the world. And if you'd like to help with that mission, click on Get Involved with Me, that video popping up there. That will give you information about my Patreon, my t-shirts, they're really cool, by the way, my social media links, how to get involved with me, business address, mailing address, all that stuff, so that you can stay involved with Mindless Entertainment and make sure that my word is the most important word in the universe.